Hi, good morning. This is Christine. It is August 19, 2014. It's in the morning. I had a dream last night. I just got up about an hour ago, maybe. I was at a bank, and there was a guy, like the branch manager, was at the desk at the table. We were on the first floor of the bank, and I was sitting at a chair on the left side of his desk, and I wasn't really sure why I was there, and I wasn't there for a loan, but I ended up getting one anyways. It's like he just gave it to me, and the paper was not a traditional loan document. It was just a regular piece of paper, but it wasn't like a sheet of normal typing paper that you have today. It was one of those thick pieces of paper, like maybe from the 1600s, or I don't know. I mean, we have them today still too, but it's like the thick paper, and you can see the particles of paper or chips in it or something like that, and it was a thick kind of paper like you would have from a old book or something like that. It wasn't a normal sheet of typing paper like we have today, and it was written in cursive with like one of those pens, from an inkwell, and he wrote on the top part of the paper. It was only like a small paragraph, and then the rest of the page was just white. It was more of a cream off-white color. And my loan amount, let's see if I can do this. It was supposed to be for $10,000, but with interest it came to $10,222, which I don't really get, and I wasn't sure why I was getting this loan. I didn't really need it. What was coming to me in the dream is that because I owned my car, my vehicle, that he was giving me this money based on me owning the vehicle. And he gave me, it was paper, it wasn't actual cash, so it was like the money I guess would be in the bank or something like that. And I ended up leaving the bank then, and then I ended up at some kind of banquet. My dad was there, my earthly dad was there, my earthly sister was there. I have a younger sister. And there were other people there, and these other people were all like famous people. And I didn't know why I was there, because I'm a nobody. I don't know why I would be there around famous people. They weren't famous Hollywood people. They were just like higher ups, and I don't even know who all they were, but you just knew in your spirit that they were higher ups. I was sitting at the table with my dad and my sister, and then I ended up walking around. There were a whole bunch of people walking in the hallway also, because we had all gotten up from the table. I guess it was like an intermission or something, I don't know. And I was asking my dad, well, what am I going to do with this? I said, I don't know why I got this money. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it, because I don't really need it for anything. And I don't know how to spend it, and my past hasn't always been the best in managing, my credit or my resources. is what I told my dad. So I didn't know why I was being given this money, because I actually didn't really trust myself with it. And I said, I don't want to, what do I do with it? Am I supposed to use it and buy things with it? I said, but if I buy something with it, it has to be something that will benefit everybody, not just me. I said, I don't want to squander the money and, just buy like a whole bunch of little trinkets, and then here your money's gone and you've got nothing to show for it because you just bought a bunch of like junk dollar toys or something like that, and you have nothing to show for it. If I buy something, or if I get something, I have to do something where it's going to be a benefit for everybody. But I don't know what that is. And I said, since I don't know how to spend it, I was talking to my earthly dad again in this dream, and I said, since I don't know how to spend it, maybe I should invest it in something or somebody else who I know is working, or doing something that will be beneficial for everybody. And then my sister came up to me from out of nowhere, my earthly sister in this dream, which is unusual because she lives 6 hours away from me by airplane. Actually even longer than that, probably more like 12 hours. I mean, she's not even on the mainland here in America. So I don't know why she was with me in this dream, but she was. And my sister also is a CPA in real life. She's the accountant of the family. So she comes up to me in this dream and she says, here are 5 CD discs. Watch these and this will tell you how to manage this money. And I said, okay, thank you. And I took it, and they were brand new CD cases. So I went into the bathroom and I came back out, and when I went into the bathroom I had put the 5 CDs up on a shelf. Like, it was a shelf that was above the stage, and the stage was where the entertainment was for the banquet. And when I came out of the bathroom, I reached up on the top shelf where I had put those 5 CDs or DVDs, because they were packaged just like how you would get a movie, like a DVD movie. And there were 3, I don't know if they were children or just short people or demonic things, I don't know, but their faces just looked like, this is mine and I'm not giving this up, like these DVDs, these CDs are mine, I'm not giving them up. So there were 3 of them. The middle one was holding on to my plastic case. I had gotten 4 of them picked up, and he was holding on to the 5th one, and we were both pulling on it. He was pulling it towards himself, and I was down on the floor, reaching up to the shelf, because all 3 of them were sitting up on the shelf up top above the stage. And he was pulling it towards himself, and I was trying to pull it towards myself. So we were playing a tug of war for this DVD case, which had the DVD inside of it. And the case snapped, and he ended up getting part of it. And then the girl to his left, or my right, she looked at it also, and we both realized that we had broken it. And I ended up getting the DVD and the other broken half. I ended up getting that part, and he just ended up holding on to the other plastic part of the case that had broken off, but he didn't have the DVD, I did. So now I had to go over to the girl that was on his right, or my left, and these were like short people. Okay, but they had mean faces on them. That's why I wasn't sure if they were children or just short people or demonic people, because they had like their teeth out. That we're not giving these DVDs up. So the girl on his right and my left, she was holding on to a CD, and it had a white top on the CD, and she was pulling it towards herself. I was pulling it towards myself, and the more I pulled, the more she pulled, and you could see her grip was getting a lot stronger on the CD, but eventually I ended up pulling harder, and I did get the CD back to myself. And then I walked away with all 5, and when I looked down, all 5 of the CD or DVD cases and the DVDs were brand new again. There was no crack, there was no broken case. All the DVDs were back in their original case, and the cases were new. So I had all 5 of them. And then I also noticed that there was an extra DVD on top of these 5, which I hadn't noticed before, and it was for Norton, which is your safety and security on the computer. And it said Norton 7.1, and it was because this new information from these 5 DVDs on how to invest this $10,000 that I just got. The information was going to be very, like, not high tech, but I'm trying to think of the word. I don't know. You have to have a lot of security for it. So that's why the Norton that I had on my computer was going to need to be removed, and I was going to have to put this new Norton on. So I was assuming that the Norton I had on my computer was a 6.0, and in real life I don't even know what number Norton is, but this new Norton that I was going to have to put on is 7.1. So now I had 6 DVDs. After this, I started walking back to the banquet hall, and everyone was coming back in from having had their intermission or bathroom break. And I found myself actually near the kitchen where they were cooking the food. It was Italian food, pasta with tomato sauce, and there was a girl to my left. She was lifting up the bottom of a lasagna that she was eating from a pan, and she noticed that the bottom of the pan was clean, like the sauce and the noodles actually stuck together and they came up as one piece, and underneath the pan was, like, the baking sheet was completely clean, so there was no sauce on the bottom, which is, rare for a lasagna. And she called out to the people cooking and asked if she could have some sauce for the bottom of her pan, and the head chef poked her head out from the window and she said, no, we don't put sauce on the bottom of the pan. So the girl just let it go, and then I ended up walking back out, and by this time it was getting close to the end. While we were having dinner, some guy approached my dad at the table that he was sitting at, and it was somebody that my dad apparently knew and was supposed to meet up with. And he looked like some kind of a tax collector guy, actually. He had a suitcase, like an auditor type. So he came over and he sat down next to my dad, and then I went back out to the hallway, sort of to where that stage was again, with the shelf and the bathrooms. And my dad, for some reason I thought that my dad had gone into the bathroom, because we were all getting ready to leave. This banquet was over by now. And 2 women came up from, like, behind the stage where the where that shelf was above it, and they started talking and singing. I just stood there and listened, pretty much. They did all the talking, and I told them about the singing, that it was very pretty and it reminded me of my mom, because my mom used to sing, which in real life she did. She liked to sing when she was doing the dishes, and she could carry a tune. My mom actually had a good voice, and she liked opera and theater and stuff like that. So I said that their singing sort of reminded me of my mom, and they were good thoughts. And then time was going by, and it was taking a long time, and I thought, my goodness, should I go in there and call to my dad and, find out what's going on or if he's okay? But instead, I just decided to leave the two women, because they were talking anyways. I was pretty much just a third wheel. So I walked around the stage, and then I made a left-hand turn and started going out towards the doors that led you outside. And as I looked through the double glass doors, my dad was out there. And he had a hat on, which, he didn't have on inside at the banquet, but he had a hat on. And that other guy who had this suitcase, who looked sort of like a tax collector auditor guy, he was with my dad too. So the guy that my dad was supposed to meet at the banquet, he ended up leaving with my dad. So they obviously had business after the banquet. So I walked outside and I said, "Oh, I thought you were in the bathroom for some reason. I've been standing over there waiting." And apparently my dad thought I was in the bathroom. So he was out there waiting for me. So we were both waiting for each other, thinking we were in the bathroom, but neither of us was. I was with the two women and he was outside. So we just had a good laugh over that. And then we started walking, and my dad was on the left-hand side, the tax collector guy, and his suitcase was like those silver hard case suitcases, like a briefcase type of thing, where if you drop it, or if it falls down from a height or something like that, it won't break and it won't dent or anything like that. So that's the kind of briefcase or suitcase he was carrying. And then he was on my right, and my dad was on my left, and the three of us, we just started walking out of the building. There was an awning over us, and you could see the sunlight in the parking lot in front of us. So we started on our way out, and I still wasn't sure what to do with the money, but what I'm thinking is, because after I woke up, maybe that tax collector guy is there to make sure that the money gets spent correctly. Granted, this is spiritual money. My sister given me those CDs on how to spend or invest the money. I was thinking it might be the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of Moses. That's why there were 5 DVDs, because that'll tell you what the Lord wants. So I don't know, I don't want to read more into this, but I just figured I'd share it because it was kind of interesting. Okay, thank you, have a great day, and God bless everyone. Bye bye.